I guess I should say at the start that this is according to Lorna. It's not written in stone. So it's definitely going to be my opinion, which I guess matters for people who are entering, since I'm the one who's going to be making the decision, which makes me a little bit nervous to say this one is the winner and these are on the short list and the rest aren't. I just want to say at the start that that doesn't mean that those who don't make the cut are not writing well and that their pieces are not worthy and deserving. But in thinking about what makes a good memoir, I thought one of the things that I don't like is memoirs that have an overladen message where you know someone has written something to get this across, even if the message is something I agree with. For instance, if there were a piece where someone was a climate change advocate, I would be on their side, but I don't want to be lectured to in a piece of literature. I don't think there's room in it for that. I think more than a memoir being a machine for creating certainty, it's more one where we can see the writer struggling with what they want to discover about life or the world or themselves. So I like pieces both in poetry and memoir where there's a stumbling, where there might be a stammering, where there's some uncertainty, where there's a vulnerability. I loved Amy MacRae's essay that was shortlisted for the CBC Nonfiction Prize. And I think she had everything in that piece that I appreciate in a memoir. I believe if she had submitted it to this contest, she would have been right up there, if not the winner. And one of the things she does, which I love in any kind of writing, but again in memoir, is that you feel there was a necessity behind the writing, that this wasn't written to be self-indulgent. It wasn't written by someone who said, I'm smarter than you, and so I'm going to tell you something. It was written by someone who really felt this itch inside them and had to find a way to articulate, to scratch it in a way that the rest of us could feel the itch and could feel the reprieve, the relief that language had given her. That was definitely there. Also, I love memoirs, and I can't think of one I like where this wasn't there, where there's a sense of intimacy. There's a sense that you're privileged as a reader to overhear a conversation. And it's a conversation that the writer is having with themselves. You get to see the mind unfolding, as if it's been formed into a beautiful origami, but we see it coming undone, and we see the various creases where the folds happened. There's a vulnerability, an intimacy, a closeness. The language is therefore informal, conversational. It doesn't have the tone of an academic essay or a political treatise. I want to feel that the person's sitting across from me with a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, and we're talking this through as reader and as writer. I also like the idea that the writer is, even though they may be writing about something that is sad and wrenching, again, as Amy MacRae did, that there's still a lightness in the piece, a lightness of tone, perhaps the odd chance for humor or whimsicality enters. I'm looking for strong imagery, the body, as in BODY, in the piece, as well as the mind, that there be a sensory flavor, color to what is being written about. Again, Amy did that so well. The image that I'm always going to be left with after having read her essay, and I wrote it down, is after my cancer diagnosis, I started smiling with my teeth. And I would like to call my judging smiling with my teeth. That's what I'm looking for is writers who are going to be smiling with their teeth. And she goes on to say that she doesn't know why she didn't used to smile with her teeth, that her mouth would be closed with a little twist up one side or the other, that maybe she was too awkward. She thought it was too revealing or it was too forward, that she would be opening her mouth for the world to see. And in the best of memoir, I think we open our mouths for the world to see. We show our teeth. I'll read another statement that she makes about that. But after cancer, once it seemed like everything in my life had been ripped open, when everything that I had tried too hard to keep neat and contained came spewing out, I smiled with my teeth. So I guess I kind of want that feeling in the memoir, that maybe there's something that the writer had tried to contain, and perhaps even for years. And again, it could be humorous. It doesn't have to be desperately sad. But for some reason, at one moment, they had to sit down at their desk and they had to write it out. I guess that's what I'm trying to imply when I suggest that there has to be a feeling of necessity and significance about it. You know, not everything we go through, I think, is worthy of being preserved on the page, but some of the things that have happened to us indeed connect us to our fellow creatures. And in the writing of it, we make others feel less alone. That's what I want to feel at the end of reading the essay, is that I feel less alone and that I am significantly moved by the writing, that my eyes have been opened to something perhaps they've been closed to before, and that I will be forever just a bit changed by what I've read, which is, I think, what we should expect as readers. We should be demanding as readers that good writing shifts something inside of us. And so I want that shift to happen. That's not asking for much, is it?